now we're actually live.
So now you want that set?
If you want, or you just let it go quiet. Hello? Is Mom out there? Why don't you call Mom and see where she's at? I know she had a staff meeting, so I don't know if she was on her way or if she got here or where she was. You could stay and run camera for a JV game. You could stay and run camera for the JV game if you wanted. Okay.
Well, a pleasant good Wednesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back to Holland Christian High School for today's JV non-conference matchup between our friends and visitors, the Buccaneers of Grand Haven High School, under head coach Derek Ottenbaker. And we welcome back the homestanding Maroons of Holland Christian High School, under head coach Mike Johns, assisted by Mr. Bryce Eggers. Tonight's officials for tonight's game, Mr. Jeff Green and Mr. Brent Rowe. At this time, we'd like to wish both teams good luck. Let's play junior varsity Maroons soccer. As we like to start the first half of action in today's non-conference JV contest, the Buccaneers of Grand Haven will go left to right from our vantage point here in the press box, and the homestanding Maroons of Holland Christian will go right to left. First half opening kickoff belonging to the Buccaneers of Grand Haven High School. Game time. Kickoff forecast. Hope everybody brought their light jackets and sunscreen. 100 degrees and sunny in beautiful San Diego, California.
Well, a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to HC Sports Live. Dan Sembrink, Rich Nagelkirk alongside Dan Voss up here in the broadcast booth for another exciting matchup in junior varsity boys soccer as the Buccaneers of Grand Haven High School come in to Holland Christian under head coach Derek Ottenbaker, and the Maroons of Holland Christian coming under first-year head coach Mike Johns, assisted by Bryce Eggers. A little update we want to give you before we start today's game. A correction we want to make from Monday. We just found this out. The Maroons were set to play West Catholic in the second round of the OK Blue Conference Tournament, and West Catholic was unable to field a JV team. So, with that being said, the freshman Maroons were scheduled to play the Buccaneers of Grand Haven High School already. So, the JV Buccaneers decided to come along with the freshmen and play our JV team in today's game. So, JV and freshmen are playing Grand Haven. If you are joining us on HE Sports Live tonight and wondering why West Catholic is not here, but West Catholic will be here for the varsity contest for the second round of the OK Blue Conference Tournament. An update for those of you that are just joining us on HE Sports Live with Dan Tembrink and Rich Nagelkirk up here in the broadcast booth. Dan Voss, our technical producer, on the other side of the box running things for us. Freshman Maroons just tied the Buccaneers of Grand Haven 2-2. And to give us a insight of what the JV Maroons look like this season long, we welcome back my color commentator and broadcast partner, Mr. Rich Nagelkirk.
Well, the JV team is actually decent, and thanks to Mike Johns for coming back after he was off for a while. But JV team looks to put some pressure on Grand Haven to start off the contest. So let's see who puts more pressure on the game between.
And as Rich said, we are very grateful for head coach Mike Johns and assistant coach Bryce Eggers, as they were out for a couple weeks due to the COVID-19 crisis that we are facing. And we're glad to see them back. We're also a very special shout out to Kyle Pett for coming back and interim coaching these JV Maroons there for a couple weeks. But this JV team is a very powerhouse team in the OK Blue. So it'll be exciting to see how they match up with a non-conference team for once this season, as because of the COVID-19 crisis, Rich, they've mostly played OK Blue opponents and haven't had very many non-conference games.
Right.
And you never know how non-conference teams match up when you don't usually see those non-conference teams regularly. Just a friendly reminder, tonight's officials, Mr. Jeff Green and Mr. Brent Rowe, wearing those green shirts out on the field this evening, calling the shots and keeping this game safe and secure. And Grand Haven had an early shot earlier in this game on the goalkeeper for the Maroons. I believe that might be Osterhaus in goal for the Maroons.
Yeah, it is, because he was back up varsity on Monday, so Osterhaus is playing goalkeeper today, and then the other goalkeeper, Chaser, will be the backup for varsity.
And then
Andrew Chaser.
we're not quite sure. They have two goalies listed for the Buccaneers. It could either be Dom Zimbel or Tyler Colvin. Both sophomores out of Grand Haven could be in goal for the Buccaneers. I'm not sure, Rich, if you can try to get
14 is going to come into the game first for Grand Haven.
the sophomore Logan Lundot in for the Buccaneers.
Substitution for the Buccaneers, number 14, Logan Lundot.
They don't have numbers on their jerseys for goalies for Grand Haven.
So it's like we said, it's either 0-1 Dom Zambel or number 1 Tyler Colvin in goal for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven. Once again,
Correction, it's number 1.
so Tyler Colvin in goal for the Buccaneers. Rich must have checked out on the sideline, and there must have been a 0-1 over there.
Yep, I see the other goalkeeper.
Perfect. So another shot by Grand Haven. Max Kaburski on the shot for the Buccaneers, no goal. And we're knotted up at zeros in this JV contest. Rich, you've had a chance to watch some of these JV games, and the people that I would say the Maroons need to look out for in this contest that could help them out potentially scoring is obviously number 8, Michael Pierce, and number 10, Kyle Cannon. And there's a great rip. I wasn't sure who that was by because I was looking down at my notes.
It was number 19 that actually took the kick first, Ethan Herkers. He
And
actually...
a great boot by Osterhaus. Almost to the 50-yard line here in football at Holland Christian. And it's a beautiful night for soccer, Rich. I was talking to our site supervisor, Brian Lemon, after school today, and we didn't have to do very many layers today. The sun's out. It's a beautiful night for soccer. Like I said, me and Rich are going to try to call this JV game the best we can. And we're on 3 games tonight, ladies and gentlemen, so forgive us for any lack of voice or any incorrect knowledge. We're going to just try our best. We just got done with the freshman game. We're in JV right now, and we're going to cover that varsity tournament game versus West Catholic coming up after this. So sit back, relax. Plenty of sports action tonight on HC Sports Live with soccer. It's a beautiful night to watch some soccer, and if you want to now, you can come to Holland Christian later and watch the varsity contest under the new spectator guidelines. So, or you can do it from the comfort of your own house in your living room.
And district tennis is close by also, so unfortunately we don't live stream that, but good luck to Holland Christian in that, in the district tennis tournament.
And a great header, I believe that was number 16. John Hogstein for the Maroons.
Number 9 is going to be coming for Grand Haven.
Fernando Hias. I got to get used to their roster sheet paper, Rich. I forgot to edit it to put the first name first and the last name first. So the last name column is first, and the last name column is first, and the first name column is second.
22.
Also, Carson Thompson.
And for Holland Christian
And
is
for the
number
Buccaneers. And number
14.
14, Caden Petrolia will come in for the Maroons of Holland Christian. Just a friendly reminder, ladies and gentlemen, I am also doing public address announcer here at Holland Christian. So you'll be hearing my voice in many different capacities as I'm going to call this game alongside Rich Nagelkirk and be on public address. So I might have to step away for a couple minutes to make some announcements, but Rich will cover the game best he can while I'm off headset. But until we announce those goals and or subs, we'll stay on headset and call this best game we can. This is number
Derek Heisman.
13, Derek Heisman with a long ball. And again, he looks to go for the ball, but falls short. Gives it to number 11, Logan Petrus.
You're right.
Petors.
Number 1.
And the Maroons will now send in Jacob Gabriels.
Number 12.
Number 12, Aiden Del Calzo.
And then 14.
And 14.
Yep.
And we're going to potentially have a score. No, but it looks like
A goal kick.
everybody's up, no injuries, and here comes all the substitutions.
Substitutions are as followed. For the Buccaneers, number 9, Fernando Hias, and number 22, Carson Thompson. For the Maroons, number 1, Jacob Gabriels, number 12, Aiden Del Kelzo, and number 14, Caden Petrulio.
So the subs are back. Everybody's on the field, and I saw a player from Grand Haven taking a knee, so I wasn't quite sure if that was an injury or he was just tying his shoe, but it looks like he was just tying his shoe.
I believe he was tying his shoe.
So we'll have no stoppage of play, even though this is JV anyway, and there is never a stoppage of play. unless it is any form of severe medical emergency where more than just athletic training is needing. And
28 for Grand Haven.
a very special shout out to our very own Carrie Ann Rieger, keeping our athletes safe all season long right here at Holland Christian High School. Does a phenomenal job in our athletic training and Holland Hospital Sports Medicine. Very special thank you to them for all that they do and a lot of local schools around this area.
That is correct.
So far, we're still knotted up in this game with, I was going to say about the halfway mark, but I was thinking varsity because that's 40 minutes on the clock.
Right.
But it is not.
Would be a half.
And the sub is in.
28. Ethan Doherty just came into the game for Grand Haven.
Number 28, Ethan Doherty, in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
Doherty's actually taking the throw-in, too. On the far side of the field. Doherty takes a big throw-in.
Have I ever mentioned this is why we appreciate you, Rich Nagelkirk? I'm a man of multiple talents over here. I was trying to get my computer ready for halftime music while writing down the sub and watching the game and trying to help you call play-by-play. So, we're always thankful for Rich.
It's actually been on Holland Christian's field most of it, so Grand Haven is putting pressure on their goalkeeper. 29 takes it for Grand Haven. That would be Enrique Reyes. 22, Grand Haven, it's Carson Thomas. Yeah. Grand Haven is putting a lot of pressure on the ball in this first half.
And it looks like the Buccaneers will get ready to send in a sub. It's number 20. Gunnar Nitz for the Buccaneers. Rich, I'm always amused when two teams match up in non-conference action to see how they play each other. Both these teams play on turf, and don't get me wrong, Grand Haven has a beautiful facility, and so both of these teams are used to turf, but they're not used to seeing each other normally. Playing conference-wise.
Right. It's just crazy. Ethan Doherty's gonna take the kick for Grand Haven, so potential. The fish. Ethan Doherty is actually asking for 10 from Holland Christian.
Let me tell you, Rich, it's easy to mark 10 on this football field stadium. And Grand Haven looks to send in two subs, along with number 20 to number 7. If I'll turn and look, or is that a 1? I'm assuming that's 7. That is 7. So Max Kaburski and Gunnar Nitz in for the Buccaneers.
Substitutions are as followed. Max Kaburski and number 20, Gunnar Nitz, in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
Number 10 is going to be coming in for Holland Christian.
Number 10, Kyle Cannon, and for the Maroons of Holland Christian.
Jordan Reese just came out of the game.
So, Rich, what are you seeing so far in this game that could help the Maroons or the Buccaneers to get a win on this game today?
Grand Haven is actually putting a lot more pressure on the ball compared to Holland Christian right now in this first half of play. As looks like Grand Haven has more potential than Holland Christian, but it's hard to say right now.
And Grand Haven comes from a very athletic conference, I should say. Obviously, they come from the OK Red, and that's West Ottawa, and that's Rockford, and there's a lot of powerhouse soccer schools over there that they play against regularly. So,
yeah, I wonder if one of the teams that they're playing in the conference doesn't have a JV team.
I believe they play a conference game tomorrow, if I remember correctly. So it looks like the Buccaneers will send in 2 more. They're going to send in number 8, Joey Basil, and number 15, Luca Lapointe. And 27, Cade LaRose. So that will be the 3 substitutions for the Buccaneers. 8-15. And the Maroons finally get into the Grand Haven territory. And we're going to take a corner for the Maroon. Correction, is it a goal kick?
Goal kick, yeah.
So subs will come in for the Buccaneers. There will be no corner. And the Buccaneers will send in 3.
Joey Basil, Luca Lapointe, and Cade LaRose will be in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
It would help if I put my headset down.
22 and
So Max Mashila, and Elliot Cook,
and 16.
as well as John Hogstein.
Substitutions are as follows for the Maroons. Number 2, Maxwell Mashila. Number 22, Elliot Cook. And number 16, John Hogstein.
And Rich, as I was trying to say earlier, it would help if I went to tell the people that are watching this game who the subs are by putting my headset down.
And Grand Haven is sending in another one.
This kind of reminds
14.
me. This kind of reminds me of Unity Christian substitutions.
Yeah, I don't know. But the colors looks like Unity Christian, but they're not.
So Logan Lundot will come in for the Buccaneers. And this has been a good offensive and defensive battle for both schools, and we're knotted up still at 0. And the ball goes to the Maroons, therefore the substitution will not come in. And we have a whistle.
It's a trip.
So that will give the ball
Kyle Cannon is going to take it.
back to the Maroons. With Cannon on the long ball, and it goes into the keeper's hands. We remain scoreless. With 13 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. First half. In today's junior varsity contest, once again, Dan Sembrink, Rich Nagelkirk, Dan Voss, our technical producer here on HC Sports Live. Buccaneers and Maroon, JV non-conference action.
Did I say number 4 for them? Or it was 14, so.
Yes, it is. And he is in.
Number 14, Logan Lundot, back in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
And the Buccaneers have it back in Holland Christian territory now. And both teams have had decent shots on goal. The Maroons look to go on the breakaway. I think that's Cannon right here on the close sideline to us.
Kyle Cannon, yep. Yep, Cannon takes that throw in. Back to 13, I believe. They're just calling a trip. Again, by Grand Haven. It's Holland Christian ball. Holland Christian kick. Kyle Cannon again has a chance. Cannon takes a chance. Cannon almost had it there, but that Grand Haven goalkeeper saved that ball to not go in the back of the net. It's a well-played game for both teams right now.
And Rich, sometimes I think that name takes advantage. Kyle Cannon, because you could see that Cannon, and the Buccaneers will score. It's number I'm not even entirely sure who scored that, Rich.
Get you a number. It's number 8.
Grand Haven goal scored by number 8, Joy Basil, for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
Thank you, Rich, for watching that for me. I was trying to say Kyle Cannon was taking on his name on those long balls, but then we had a little defensive mishap with Osterhaus coming out of the goal, and Grand Haven gets one on the board after a very dangerous defensive mistake by Osterhaus in goal. So with about 10 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first half, the Buccaneers have the 1-0 lead in this contest. And Rich, in games like this, you can't have defensive errors like that. Actually, in any game, you can't have a defensive error like that where the goalkeeper comes out and tries to go for the ball and just drops it and gets kicked in.
That is true. Another goal kick by Grand Haven as
his defender passed it, not knowing he was out of goal.
28.
So the Maroons will send in 2.
8 and 4 and 8.
Jordan Reese, Michael Pierce,
And then 28 for Grand Haven still. Stand by. And 9 for Allen Christian.
Steven Daughtry in for the Buccaneers. In for the Maroons, number 4, Jordan Reese. Number 8, Michael Pierce. And number 9, Noah Frericks for the Maroons of Holland Christian.
This is actually a very well played game from both of them, but I think if I was Johns right now, I'd say, hey, we got to put more pressure on Grand Haven in the second half if we're gonna try to knot it up at 1. 22 for Grand Haven's going to be coming in next, and he's in.
Carson Thomas, number 22, back in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
And number 22 is going to take it for Grand Haven. The throw in. Carson Thomas.
And they're looking for Ethan Doherty. You can hear Doherty from the sideline coming from Coach Ottenbaker. And it looks like the Buccaneers hold possession of the ball. Heading left to right from our vantage point here in the press box. Maroons going right to left. Into the hands of Osterhaus. We got about 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. And a whistle is blown.
They're talking trip on Holland Christian.
So they're calling Ethan Doherty.
I think it was actually Jordan Reese with the trip.
But from the sideline, you hear Coach saying Doherty's ball.
Right.
So Doherty takes the kick for the Buccaneers. Into the hands of the Maroon keeper. And another potential dangerous situation, but the ball is saved. And the Buccaneers back on maintaining the possession. Quick look for the Maroons. Look, oh, there was a beautiful pass, but stopped by the defensive unit. Maroons look to pass it. 21 Lake Vanderploeg looked for Hogstein, but was stopped by Grand Haven. And Maroons have the ball. Carson Thomas potentially looking to stop the Maroons, and the ball goes out of bounds. And I'm going to have to stand up to look outside the window to see what's going on. Oh, I always keep forgetting we have the confidence monitor right here, Rich. So the Maroons have possession. Rolls out of bounds, and it's a goal kick
by Grand Haven
for the Buccaneers. And the West Catholic Falcons have just arrived for the varsity contest, as the varsity Maroons will take on the West Catholic Falcons in OK Blue Conference tournament action. We will carry that game 20 minutes after the conclusion of this JV contest. Dan Tembrink, Rich Nagel-Kirk on the call alongside our very own technical producer, Mr. Dan Voss, up here in the broadcast booth with us. We thank him for everything he does and does for this school district, as it's a very different time right now with COVID, and we're trying to bring as much broadcast as we can for you. And Pierce had a great chance on that ball, but they look back And it's stopped yet again by Grand Haven, and Grand Haven looks to kick it deep, but it doesn't go. And they're calling a push from behind on Hogstein for the Maroons, so the ball will go to Grand Haven. Ethan will take it yet again for the Buccaneers.
It's going to be a corner kick for Grand Haven, it looks like. Yeah.
So Cade LaRose, 27, looks to go take the corner for the Buccaneers. 2:40 remaining in this first half. And the Maroons fall on their own power. And that doesn't help, so the ball will go to the Buccaneers. Number 14, Caden Petrulli had the ball for the Maroons. Look, Ethan Doherty again. Great deflection by the Buccaneers to try to maintain possession, but the Maroons will kick it out of bounds. And we'll give it back to Ethan Doherty for the Buccaneers. With 1:44 remaining in today's contest.
This game is going really quick. Both teams are playing well except for that one goal, but
and a great stop by the Maroons. We'll give the ball back to the Maroons. I believe that's Kyle Cannon lining up the shot.
no, it isn't.
For HC, I am wrong. That is number 13, is Derek Heisman.
1 minute remaining in the first half of action.
So the Buccaneers of Grand Haven have possession.
That'd be Ethan Doherty again.
Doherty, the powerhouse player so far from Grand Haven. We've said that name a lot in this broadcast. Gives it back to the middle for the Maroons. It's about 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Maroons look number 4, Jordan Reese. To Grand Haven, back to the Maroons with short time on the clock. They look to knot this up at 1 with about 19 seconds remaining in the first half, and we're going to have a quick corner from the Maroons.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alan Christian did score there. I didn't even see who had that one.
Holland Christian goal at the buzzer by number 8, Michael Pierce for the Maroons of Holland Christian. And that's the half. Your score, Maroons 1, Buccaneers 1. Ladies and gentlemen, just a friendly reminder, in accordance with the Ottawa County Health Department requirements, as well as our membership with the MHSA and the OK Conference, Holland Christian expects the 2 spectators to be distant from those not in their immediate family and wear a facial covering at all interscholastic events. Distancing and mask wearing for this event is at all times and includes the entrance and exit into the facility, in the bleachers, and while moving around. Thank you for wearing your facial covering and maintaining a 6-foot distance so our athletes can continue competing at events like this one. Holland Christian High School and the MHSA and the OK Conference, thank you for your cooperation in this manner. Also, a friendly reminder, ladies and gentlemen, the restroom facilities are open and fully operational, located here at Holland Christian High School. behind the concession stand building. And here at Holland Christian High School, they remain Holland Christian free of charge.
That was actually an excellent goal by Holland Christian to finish that first half of play.
And that was right on the buzzer. So we're going to credit that to number 8, Michael Pierce, on a great goal. And with that, we all got a little excited on that one. That counts right at the buzzer. So at the half, your score, Maroons 1, Buccaneers 1. Dan Temrink alongside Rich Nealkirk. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back for the second half of action between the Maroons of Holland Christian and the Buccaneers of Grand Haven. You're watching soccer on HC Sports Live.
Also, a quick check of the Holland Hospital Sports Medicine on-campus scoreboard. In our game prior to this contest, the Maroons of Holland Christian took on the Buccaneers of Grand Haven. Final score from the freshman contest, Holland Christian 2 and the Buccaneers of Grand Haven 2. This has been a quick check of your Holland Hospital Sports Medicine on-campus scoreboard. Holland Hospital Sports Medicine, your official athletic training partner of Holland Christian High School and Holland Christian's very own Carrie Ann Rieger, taking care of your athletes all season long right here at Holland Christian High School. Also, final reminder, ladies and gentlemen, JV will be back in action next week, Monday, for OK Blue Conference Tournament action. And we'll play the Lakers of Spring Lake or the Crusaders of Unity Christian. That game is scheduled for next week, Monday, right here at Holland Christian at 5:30. Stay tuned to hollandchristian.org/athletics for all your updated soccer information regarding scheduling. As we look to start the second half of action in today's non-conference JV game, the Maroons of Holland Christian will now go left to right from our vantage point here in the press box. And the visiting Buccaneers of Grand Haven will go right to left. Second half opening kickoff belonging to the homestanding Maroons of Holland Christian High School. Good luck to both teams. Let's play second half. Maroons Junior Varsity Soccer. Second half kickoff forecast. It's a little bit more colder now, so hopefully you got your jackets. It's now down to 90 degrees and partly cloudy in beautiful San Diego, California. Grand Haven goal. Starts the second half by number 8, Joey Basil.
And we welcome you back to the broadcast booth. Dan Semmerink alongside Rich Nagelkirk, Dan Voss on HC Sports Live. And me and Rich were just talking, but you barely have a chance to get your headset back on, and the Buccaneers get their second goal of the game, and they already take this second half into a lead of 2-1 on a fast goal by number 8, Joey Basil. So now, Rich, you have to guess what Coach Johns was talking about at halftime. For one, I'm sure he was talking about don't let that happen that fast into the second half.
Yeah, but let's put more pressure on that goalkeeper for Grand Haven in the second half.
And I believe we might still have the same keepers in goal for both. So yes, Osterhaus is still in goal. And there we go again. Grand Haven puts in 3 as Osterhaus gets out of the goal. That's number 8. That's number 11 this time. Logan Petrus.
Grand Haven goal scored by number 11, Logan Petros, for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
Dom Zambali is actually in goal for Grand Haven in the second half. 0-1.
So
Grand Haven
switched goalkeepers. Osterhaus still in goal for the Maroons of Holland Christian, but Logan Petrus, quick goal for the Buccaneers, and now the Maroons don't have a little bit of a cushion anymore, Rich. They're down 2 early into this second half of action.
I think the Maroons have to put more pressure on Grand Haven this second half.
And I think Coach Johns probably might have mentioned this at halftime, but we can't have those mistakes from goalkeeping.
Right. Yeah, it looks like Holland Christian threw a bad throw, and so Grand Haven actually got it back on that throw-in.
And the lights are on, so it's time for Wednesday Night Lights in soccer. Dan Semmerink alongside Rich Nagelkirk once again. Dan Voss, our technical producer, and there goes Logan Petrus again. But it looks like
Offsides.
somebody was either holding the jersey or offsides, as Rich said, and they'll give the ball to the Maroons of Holland Christian. This is game 2 of our triple header action
It was
this
a holding.
evening. Game prior to this one, once again, Holland Hospital on campus scoreboard. It was the Maroons of Holland Christian 2 and the Buccaneers of Grand Haven 2. Tie game in the freshman game. And then up next, 20 minutes after the conclusion of this game, we'll have the boys' second round of the OK Blue Conference Tournament between the Falcons of West Catholic and the still number 1 seeded Maroons of Holland Christian in varsity action. We're going to be covering that game as well as on HC Sports Live. So stay tuned online. We have plenty more soccer action to be played today and a lot more broadcasts to be played. So me and Rich's voices are going to be tired by the end of the night. But hey, it's a beautiful night for soccer here at Holland Christian.
It's a great night for soccer. The weather has turned out perfectly for it.
And if things cooperate the way they should be cooperating, these JV Maroons will be back in action next week, Monday, and would face off versus the Lakers of Spring Lake or the Crusaders of Unity Christian. That all depends on if our varsity team was to win tonight and who the varsity team for Unity and Spring Lake would win. They will follow suit with the varsity program. So next week, Monday, right back here, 5:30, Holland Christian soccer versus either Spring Lake or Unity Christian. The only thing is, Rich, it's a little odd tonight. Why did the Maroons, for those of the people that are just joining us, why are the JV Maroons playing the Buccaneers of Grand Haven tonight? Shouldn't they be playing the Falcons of West Catholic just like varsity?
Yeah, but West Catholic couldn't afford a JV team tonight with all the injuries, so that's why HC is playing Grand Haven in non-conference for freshman JV, but then varsity, that's going to be different.
$14 for the Buccaneers.
1-12, I believe. It was number 1 for sure. Just get him.
Substitutions are as followed for the Buccaneers. Number 14, Logan Lundot. Jacob Gabriels for the Maroons.
So, like Rich was saying, hopefully next week the Maroons will go back into OK Blue Conference Tournament action. But until then, they're going non-conf versus the Buccaneers of Grand Haven. The JV Buccaneers were nice enough to say, hey, our freshman team's coming down to play the Maroons as scheduled, so how about we just send our JV program down too, and you guys can play our JV program. So we definitely thank Grand Haven for stepping up and doing that for us.
14.
Number 14, Caden Petrulia in for the Maroons of Holland Christian.
So that was very nice of them to step up and let their JV come down and play as well, wasn't it, Rich?
Yeah, so it was excellent. Thanks to the AD over there for scheduling it with our AD the last moment.
And we'd like to give a special thank you to our athletic director, Dave Ingbers here at Holland Christian, for keeping these athletic events running during such a crazy time. I know he's got district tennis today, and some days he's between the middle school and the high school. And so we just want to thank Dave Ingbers for all the hard work he's done this season. I know when COVID struck the soccer program, he took all the time in the world and late nights to get this soccer schedule back on track, Rich, to make this work. So very special thank you, as always, to athletic director here at Holland Christian High School, Dave Ingvers, as well as our newly formed assistant athletic director, Mr. Brad Jansen, for all his help in getting all the event workers and everything for these events as well.
Yep.
So a very special thank you to both athletic directors here at Holland Christian for making all this possible.
Basil just threw it in, but then Holland Christian deflected it. It's a corner kick, number 7 for Grand Haven.
Max Kaburski.
Is going to be taking the corner.
But I'm not sure Rich affirms me on all those statements about Brad and Dave. They both work countless hours to make all this possible.
We just say thank you.
We just say thank you.
And Brad is actually our new boys of varsity basketball coach, too. So he's going to have his hands full during that season, too.
And we will be happy to introduce him later on this winter, as Rich had a chance to interview him prior to his basketball season starting. And a great header by, was that possibly Basil again? Yes, it was. So that could have been a hat trick for Joey if that would have gone in, but it did not.
That's a good sign.
So the Maroons are still within a cushion of this contest with a 2-goal deficit, but they need to put 2 on in order to win this. They need to put 2 on to win this, or tie this, and 1 on to win this.
So we need 3 goals in the second half. Number 22 is going to be coming into the game for Holland Christian.
So Elliot Cook will come in for the Maroons. Rich, I can't do my math today. We need 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead.
Yep.
So number 22, Elliot Cook, will come in back for the Maroons.
And 4 to put a he got another goal by Grand Haven.
Number 11.
Grand Haven goal scored by number 11, Logan Peters, for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
So that's 2 goals for him and 2 goals. Yeah, for Joey. So let's see who gets a hat trick tonight for Grand Haven, unfortunately.
The Buccaneers keep this rolling. They're up 3 goals right now, and there's still plenty of time to be played. Coach Johns is starting to wonder what's going on with these Maroons. Like I said, Rich, this is a totally different contest, as this is non-comp for them. They know nothing about this opponent. They don't usually play Grand Haven, and it's all new territory for them.
Yeah. Trying to get their sub numbers for Holland Christian, as they're not turning.
So, oh! And we're going to have a potential injury down on the field as Osterhaus collided with number 14 here for the Buccaneers. That's Logan Lundot.
One of the goal scorers for the night.
That's the other Logan. They have multiple Logans.
18 and 19 for Holland Christian.
Don't you just love it when Coach Johns keeps it in numerical order?
Yeah.
Makes your life possible. And we're only as good as the information we're given, and I know from the top of my notes right now, there is no number 18 on our roster. So, and here goes the Buccaneers again. But a great stop by them. No, Buccaneers have it again. Rich, it's been an all Buccaneer half.
Yeah, it has. That is weird that number 18 is not on the roster for Highland Christian.
I feel that might be someone getting pulled up from the freshman team during that whole COVID and our coaching mess. So we're just going to go with, who's the other one?
19.
So we have mystery player number 18. And we have number 19.
Number 19, Ethan Hergers, in for the Maroons of Holland Christian, as well as number 18.
Rich, I have one thing to say and one thing only to say. This is wise words a person once gave me, and Rich can know the saying, I'm sure, but we're only as good as the information we are provided.
That is correct. Number 10 is going for Grand Haven.
Ethan Ferguson. That's a new one for the Buccaneers, I believe.
It is. I believe it is. Holland Christian gets it up. Cody Cannon. Cody still has the ball.
Kyle Cannon.
Correct. Kyle.
Me and Rich always agree. It's always better to have 2 eyes up here. Actually, I should say it's better to have 4 eyes up here than 2 eyes for viewing things. And Rich, West Catholic, I do have to say one quick note about this, and I'll probably mention it again during the varsity game, but they actually have co-head coaches.
Really? How does that work?
It is a very good question. So we will find out how they call that game 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one. And you can catch it right here on HC Sports Live. And the Buccaneers, man, I have yet to see the Maroons get it into Grand Haven territory on our side of the field. And I don't think the Maroons have had a shot on goal this half.
They haven't. They got a push on Grand Haven, so Holland Christian's actually going to put a little bit more pressure. Number 6 is going to take it.
For the Maroons,
Yep.
Josiah Woosley.
Woosley takes it. It's big foot to finally the Grand Haven goalkeeper.
And the Maroons of Holland Christian varsity team going to their normal warm-up spot behind the soccer net closest to the scoreboard. And they just asked the West Catholic Falcons to kindly go warm up somewhere else, as the Falcons were warming up in their normal warm-up spot. So the Maroons are getting ready for their varsity contest, but we are still 18 minutes and 10 seconds left in this JV contest, and it's been all Buccaneers this half of the JV contest.
It's unbelievable how much pressure how much Buccaneers are actually putting on the Maroons in the second half so far. That's 28. Doherty's coming back in.
And Rich, one thing I've noticed about the Maroons, it doesn't ever help the morale that you let your visiting team score that fast into the second half.
Right, that is true.
But Coach Johnson's saying you got to keep playing through, guys.
Official just called offsides on Grand Haven.
But if you were Coach Johns right now, you got to say keep playing through it, guys.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of time. There's 17 minutes, 10 seconds. You just got to keep playing, and you got to stay strong. And it looks like someone else is going to come in for the Maroons.
Number 11.
There's going to be subs.
Ethan Ferguson,
Christian.
Ethan Doherty, in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
Here, Shook comes back in.
In for the Maroons, number 11, Harris Shook.
And here comes Joey Basil again. He could go for that hat trick, and it's into the hands of Osterhaus. And a phenomenal save. No goal. That could have been a hat trick. for Basil if he would have got it in.
Kyle Kidd just came out of the game, so he's pretty tired.
Coach Johns is trying to figure out what do I do with this program to keep them going. Like I said, Rich, this is non-conference action, and you know, it's always hard when it's non-conference action where you're not used to seeing this team. And I just heard some crowd sounds that sounded like something amazing almost happened. I was doing some administrative stuff for the varsity game quick, but I'm assuming it was a shot on goal by the Buccaneers.
It was a shot on goal.
But it was no good, so Grand Haven does.
It was a field goal.
So Grand Haven, and they're saying play on after
Fernando Heiss, or actually took that shot for Grand Haven. (20 and 22 for Grand Haven.
Buccaneers are going to actually have a new 3.
And 26. 20, 22, 26.
So that is, if Rich reminds me right, 20, 22, 26.
Yep.
So that's Gunnar Nitz, Carson Thomas, and there was one more, 26, Easton Beecham for the Buccaneers. Over the PA, we're just going to give them a new 3.
And they're in. Ethan Doherty is going to take this corner kick for
3
Grand
new on
Haven.
for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
Doherty's going to take
And
that.
Rich, I keep hearing in my ear, Ethan Doherty, man. It's a name we've said a lot in this contest, and he looks up and rips it into the middle. Osterhaus is down on the ground. There's headers everywhere.
Osterhaus actually had his back to the goal, so if they're going to shoot it, they would actually not see. He'd not see it because he was actually facing the other way on the ground.
And there is no whistles blown, so I'm assuming it's going to play on. Sorry about that, Rich. I just realized our press box door's been sitting open for a half hour. I wondered what that little cold draft was.
That's all right.
We're only as good as the staffing we're provided up here. We're all wearing multiple hats today. Dan Temrink and Rich Nagelkirk. I'm running the helping Rich call this game, and Rich is calling the game, but Rich is running the scoreboard.
And the officials are calling it.
They calling a handball on the bot?
No, handball at the 18-yard line of
I'm
soccer.
Very I think the Grand Haven goalie picked it up and he ran out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So he ran out of his. So
Obvious, they're closer than.
Jeff Green actually has paint in his back pocket, sort of, to actually make a mark.
wow, don't see that very often. Caden Petrulia into the hands of the Grand Haven keep.
15 and 24 coming back in front of Christian. Next dead ball.
And Rich is going to re-give me those subs because I was paying attention to. And they're both in.
15 and 24.
15, 24. That's Teddy Hollabeek and Nolan Manis.
Number 15, Teddy Hollabeek. Number 24, Nolan Manis in for the Maroons.
So, Rich, is that a fairly common thing where the ref's got the paint in his back pocket?
No, not usually. 15 is coming in for Grand Haven after when we get a chance.
Luca LaPointe, the freshman. And Rich, we're still at 10 minutes to go in this game.
Actually, dialed down a little bit. It seems like it was going really fast, but now the second half is actually going a little bit slower, it seems like. And the sub is in for Grand Haven.
Luca LaPointe in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
They're saying Doherty slide back. Doherty's taking the throw in again.
Like I said, Rich, why do I feel like we've said that name a lot in this broadcast?
He's a very good player for Grand Haven.
Defensive and offensive.
Yeah.
Mostly defensive, but
21 takes it. Thrown by Helen Christian.
what number is that over there, Rich? 21?
Lake Vanderplug.
Lake Vanderplug. So Lake looks in, gets it to, who's that on the far side that could have knotted it in? Who's on the run over there?
Still.
Number 12 for the Maroons, Aiden Del Calzo on the run for the Maroons.
Throw him to the carpet. That was not
Just under 9 minutes to go in this contest. Maroons booted up, look middle. Everybody loves doing the field goal signal when they get it in the field goal in soccer. But this isn't football, so it doesn't count. And the Maroons remain down 3 goals.
Carter Bauman, number 12, is going to come into the game for Grand Haven.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah, I don't know why the parents really enjoy doing the field goal signal, because in soccer it really doesn't do very much for you, does it, Rich?
No. If it did, it would be a big difference.
Number 12, Carter Bauman in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
To be honest, if it was a field goal signal, it would be tied at 4-4.
And it's sadly not.
Right.
So the Maroons are still down 3 goals. 5 goals would take the lead.
Doherty's throwing in again.
I think Doherty's had a phenomenal game, and if I had to give an MVP for this JV contest, I would definitely give it to number 28, Ethan Doherty, for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
Yeah, I might give it to actually Basil. He's playing a well-played game too when he's in the game. Or the Logan Petrus, number 11. So it's hard to say right now. Officials are calling it a free kick by Helen Christian.
So they're calling for Hollebeek to move back, to play defense if the ball shoots back for them. And here we go again. It's back in Holland Christian territory. And that's exactly what Coach Johns wanted. He wanted Hollebeek back to play defense, and that's exactly what Hollebeek did.
Yeah, it was an excellent stop by Teddy.
Otherwise, Rich, there could have been a potential breakaway from the Buccaneers, and it would have been potentially another goal.
Right.
So 6 minutes remaining in this game. Maroons down 3 to tie, 4 to win.
That is correct.
So Maroons need about a goal a minute to get this one
Yeah, but the clock doesn't stop, so
in the win column.
it's harder yet.
But hey, they did count that one, not the buzzer at half. So
Right.
the Maroons could get on a fiery streak here and start going at it.
But Grand Haven's putting more pressure on Holland Christian, it seems like now. With about 5 minutes to play in the game.
And yet again, the good news is this is JV. And I think Doherty potentially is down on the ground. No, he's not. That was number 20, I believe. Gunnar Nitz.
Doherty's going to take the kick.
And the good news, under 5 minutes in a JV game. Into the hands of Osterhaus. Osterhaus holds on to it. And we're good. Like I said, Rich, the good news is we're under 5 minutes. That subbing rule does not come into effect in JV. So the clock will continue to run. And it could be the Buccaneers running away with this contest.
It will be. Unless if we get fired up.
It looks like the Buccaneers want to send in another sub.
19.
Oliver Westbrook, that's a new name in for the Buccaneers.
Oliver Westbrook, number 19, in for the Buccaneers of Grand Haven.
And they're getting ready to send in another 3. I think head coach Derek Ottenbaker is saying, guys, we have this win. Let's play some people that don't usually play.
It's 7-11-14. But number 11 is coming back in the game to try to get his hat-trick goal.
But also, like I said before, I think Coach Ottenbaker is just saying, guys, we got this one in the box. Let's keep it going and finish this off.
New 3 in for the Buccaneers.
Max Kabrski, Logan Petrus, and Logan Londot are in the game for Grand Haven.
So far, it's 3 goals in the second half for the Buccaneers. That's no goals so far for the Maroons in the second half. And we got a whistle.
Yep.
And the Maroons could potentially get on the board and have their first goal of the second half and make this a 2-goal game.
Wonder if this guy has spray paint. It doesn't look like he does.
And it's up and goal kick. So this one, Rich, I think if the Maroons don't get the motivation they need, this one's in the books, and the Buccaneers are going to warm up the bus and head back to Grand Haven with a 4-1 JV win.
They actually don't have a bus here. I think drop off only. The parents probably have to take them back.
Either that or they took the freshman team back.
All right. Or the vans, if they have vans.
So 1 minute, 36 seconds remaining. Maroons got to keep the pressure up for at least a minute on the defensive stop so that they don't get another goal and this cushion walks even more away from the Maroons.
That's what it's going to look like, but you never know. Goal kick.
1 minute remaining in today's contest.
Goal kick by Grand Haven. Petrus is going to take it. Logan Petrus is going to take that. Holland Christian has a chance right here to get it to the back of the net. They might do it at zeros again like in the first half, but I'm afraid that's not going to happen. But you never know. They might take it. Grand Haven gets it upfield again. Grand Haven gets it. Number 15
10,
gets
9,
it.
8,
A shot.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that'll be our final in today's JV contest. The Buccaneers of Grand Haven 4, the Maroons of Holland Christian 1. Congratulations to head coach Derek Ottenbaker and the JV Buccaneers on their win this evening. Scoring summary for today's game. For the Buccaneers, 2 goals, number 8, Joey Basil, and 2 goals, number 11, Logan Petrus for the Buccaneers. For the